On this episode of In the Hangar, we're going to find out where you can fly to the most fun. Thanks for joining us today on this special episode of In the Hangar. We're not in the hangar. We are at AirVenture in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I'm Chelsea Smith.
And I'm Dan Milliken, and this program is brought to you by Flying Eyes. Go to flyingeyesoptics.com and use a whole bunch of different discount codes.
Do we have some codes up here?
You've got a code. What's your code, Chelsea?
Chels.
Chels, it's sweet and short. What's y'all's code?
Fun.
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 Oh, it's even shorter. Ho out, 3 letters. Okay, we're also brought to you by Clemens Insurance. Jerry knows the right answers, knows how to work the system to get you the best deal he did with me. Drew and Lanie, fly me to the fun. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for having us.
I think we have a little bit of a Cessna 150 rivalry going on up here that maybe we can sort out after this talk.
Okay, I've seen her 150 in person. The paint job, the interior, it's beautiful. Can you guys compete with that or what?
We could try to, but we have to make sure the plane is nice and shiny, which is a lot of work. We usually end up polishing it about once a year, which we did not make in time for Oshkosh this year. So
you win this round.
So you might win this round.
I don't know. You all made me want to leave one strip of polished aluminum on my plane. I wanted to so bad. But a polished aluminum airplane is one of the most beautiful planes you could ever have until it's yours and you're the one polishing it.
Exactly. But
so I admire your alls, but I could not get on that bandwagon.
One positive is that it's a really good shoulder workout, so it keeps you in shape. And we get a lot of feedback when we had it on display a couple years ago. Everyone that came by said, I used to have a polished airplane, and they'd pause for dramatic effect and they'd say, I painted it.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Oh,
everyone.
really? So it's
yeah.
a really beautiful thing. It's just too hard to keep up to.
It's a good bit of work, and once you've seen it as shiny as it can get, you forever compare it to that. So you're always like, oh man, it's overdue, and we need to work on it again. It's just a perfection game.
So many people know you all. You all are Instagram sensations. You just hit 100K on YouTube. Tell me what's going on in the world with you guys.
You know, it's funny. We've been talking a lot about how we started doing this and if it was intentional and if we bought the plane to make a channel, and that's not the case at all. We kind of just got the plane during COVID. It was a 2020 purchase, and Lanie was going to be coming along on a lot of adventures. She wanted something to do, so she started the channel. That's why it's called Fly Me to the Fun. It's me flying her to the fun.
Oh, I love
and
that.
We started
I didn't know that.
We started when Instagram only had still photos. There were no videos at all. And
Wow.
then TikTok came out, then Reels, and it kind of just snowballed. And we've been giving it more and more effort in our lives, and it's just turned into this thing that we never, ever would have expected at all.
Okay, I've got it as a YouTube channel owner. I've got a question. You guys started Instagram, you started photos, you started shorts, and now you're transitioning in long form. Have you found success there? Because I've found people are not going cross-platform. If they're watching shorts, they won't watch long form. What's your experience?
It's similar, yeah. We get very little crossover traffic from other platforms, some, but it's like sub 5% or even less. So it's totally its own platform. We've been publishing long form on YouTube, but most of our growth comes from shorts there. Now we're pivoting to really giving attention to long form videos there and continuing to play with different kind of non-traditional, reasons to watch aviation videos. I think a lot of them throughout history have been kind of flight vlogs, really long videos where there's lots of comms. We're experimenting now with doing shorter, faster pace, parallel storytelling. And our first kind of release with this idea has been our highest performing video by a factor of 20.
The contest?
Yeah. The race to
I
Nashville.
love that video. That was what really stood out to me, because you're right. There are so many flight vlog channels, and they're not getting many views anymore. I mean, back when it was fresh and new, that was great. But I'm just amazed what you guys have been able to do is take something that is inundated and make it different and special, and it's showing.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you two together, the combination, you all have such good chemistry and such a good dynamic.
Well, and it's a good thing, because I think they're married.
No,
Not-
they're
actually
not.
Oh, you're not?
We're not.
Oh my God.
Everyone
Oops.
always says, they're like, oh,
I
your
thought
wife.
you guys
your wife.
were
And I'm
married.
Like, oh, it's fine. Yeah,
No.
no. We've been together long enough, but
Not
Okay,
yet.
well,
spend
foot
our money
and
on an
mouth
airplane
there.
instead, I guess.
No, but I absolutely love what you bring to the table. I know that you're not a pilot yet. Is that ever in your plans?
Let's direct it to you. No, I'm just kidding. I told him if he gets a CFI, that's the next rating he's working on. Once he gets that, I was like, you can teach me. then we're good.
I
don't
think
know
you
if I
already
wanna
know
learn from
so
someone
much,
else.
though.
She
I
would
think you
definitely, she
already
would be
know
a
so
40-hour
much.
private without question.
Yeah.
She's been in planes with me at 700 hours probably, or maybe
Oh,
more.
wow.
I'm thinking a little bit more.
It's probably more.
Yeah.
And how many hours for Toonie now? I know that you all inherited a dog.
We did. We got a 4.3 pound companion now.
I think
I've
she's
got a
at,
dog that's
10.
just slightly bigger than 4.3 pounds, but Chewy the Newfoundland. So
I
he
would
loves to
imagine.
Not
fly.
150 sized.
Yeah.
Not 150
No,
size.
no, he would definitely put you
He
overweight
probably
and
eats
out of balance.
4.5
Yeah.
pounds of food a day.
Right. Yeah, my dog eats your size dog every day.
Yeah. Toonie has a tablespoon of kibbles 3 times a day, and that's it.
What?
It's incredible.
Really?
We thought we were doing it wrong. The first month we had it, we were like, there's no way this is enough food for this animal. We're going to kill this animal. And it is a ridiculously small amount of food.
Wow.
So one of the things that I'm most jealous about with your all's 150 is the long range tanks.
Yep.
And would your trip down through the Caribbean, would that have been possible without the long range tanks in the 150?
I actually think so. We never did any leg longer than 3 hours.
Oh.
So I think it is possible. It made it a lot more comfortable because
Yeah.
we like to do an hour reserve everywhere we go. We also have a pretty fortunate useful load on that plane. So
Yeah.
we did take off at gross pretty much every leg on the way
What
down there.
is your useful load?
562,
Nice.
which helps a lot.
But it's 150. It's not a 152, so you don't have that 10 extra horsepower,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, if it's hot out and you're at gross, it's not a fun climb experience at all.
Right.
But it can do it. And of course, that trip you're at sea level the entire time, which is nice.
Climbing to the fun, not having fun?
Yeah.
What?
Fly me to the fun at 10 feet.
We
Yeah.
cut out every time
The
he
whole way.
complains, you know, with
Yeah.
editing.
Yep.
He's
Not
like,
a-
we're going so slow. I'm like, well, cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, I know the feeling. I know.
But it gets it
Yeah,
done.
yeah, you do.
Very cool. So everyone knows you all very well, but can you all share anything that maybe people don't know or what's next for the channel?
So I guess something that probably no one knows about me is that for a long time I made rap beats.
What?
And yeah, I'm a big like music producer, rap
you
beat
messing
guy.
with us?
Not at all. Not at all. And what I would like to do at some point is start making the music for all of our videos. It's just
Oh,
it's
that
going to
would be
slow things
awesome.
down a lot. But that's something that I'm kind of
Oh, wow.
working towards. So it might get a little bit more like trap beatish on the channel.
Oh,
so
wow.
just stick with it.
When I
Is
first,
that how he won you over?
Oh,
It
immediately.
actually was a factor.
The night I met him, we were at this big party, and someone was like, "Drew, put your beats on," and I laughed in his face. I was like, "What does that even mean? What?"
Are you talking about like the beats you grow in the ground?
I was like, he's wearing like a button-down shirt. I was like, "You do what?"
And you did.
Oh yeah.
you
Had a
threw it
positive
down.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In college, it was one of those things, and everyone would come rap on his beats, and I was like, "Oh,
I had,
okay."
I had the freestyle dorm. Everyone
And
would
it
come
worked.
in. I'd put some beats on. Different people would come record raps in college. It was a great time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
There might
is
even be some flying to the
hilarious.
freestyles. I don't know.
Can we
Oh my
find
gosh.
anything on the interwebs that I can play as a clip of you doing this? Is there anything out there that I can
I've
grab?
tried pretty hard to let that not happen. So probably not, but I could send you some beats.
Send me something.
I'll send you some beats.
Send me
We
something.
need some in this video.
I can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay. So right now we're going to cut to here's Drew slamming down some beats.
I still have all the equipment. I do all my video editing in front of a computer with an 88 key piano right in front of me.
Right.
I just don't use it very often, but
So did you all fly to Oshkosh this year?
we did.
You did.
In the
And
150.
In the 150. Are you camping again with it?
no.
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 You couldn't bring camping gear with your
We
used-
have
We have.
before.
They camped one road down from us last year, and they
Wow.
were weathering the storms. And then I think we didn't make the decision together, but we both decided we are not going to work the show and camp. Camp
Yeah.
anytime, but it's hard to camp and work at
Yeah, I
Oshkosh.
know,
I
yeah.
can't get ready very well in a porta potty.
Yeah. It's a challenge, and I think we're still traumatized from the storms last year. We, at one point, abandoned the tent and came
PTSD.
back, and it was upside down the next day, and yeah, we're
You
in Airbnb
abandoned
this
it
year.
for what? SOS?
A kind
It started
Airbnb
there.
offer. Yeah.
It was funny. Obviously, the internet makes everyone closer, you know. So we met another person on the internet, and we met up at SOS, and he was like, "I've got a couch if you want to sleep on it." And we were like,
Oh, that's so kind.
little side hustle or huddle. I was like, "He's not going to chop us up, right?" So and
That's
it
your
worked out.
bar.
Yeah.
If you done chop us up, we'll take it.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool.
Who's watching the dog?
Well, so it was Lanie's friends, and my mom just picked her up this morning. So it's kind of a combo effort because we're going to be on for like 12 or 13 days.
Because it takes a lot of work to feed that dog.
Yeah.
So you
Well, she
all,
gets lunch. So that adds, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
you all are leaving Oshkosh and going up to Canada.
The plan is
Do
to
you
leave
know the
here.
route?
We're going to go down through Chicago, do Put
Okay.
in Bay, Ohio,
Oh, fun.
and potentially some of the other Bass Islands, and then Niagara Falls, and then Toronto. And then
Wow.
home.
Wow. So Josh and I, that's what we did when we left Oshkosh 2 years ago when we filmed the 3 countries in 3 week series.
Yep.
We hooked it north and came down, did the Toronto Falls, everything like that. It was incredible. What other trips do you all have planned, and are you filming that one?
We'll be making, so again, kind of in the direction of what I said earlier about the YouTube channel, trying to create different reasons to watch. We
Right.
have videos that we'll be doing on the trip, but it's not necessarily about the entire trip as one
Right.
piece.
Very cool.
Well, so
Very
what kind of angle will it be? I'm very curious.
So one that we're planning on is the 3 Bass Islands have runways very close to one another. So what I did in Flight Simulator before we left and recorded it with our plane in Flight Sim is how quickly we can be on all 3 islands. And I did one version where it was completely without regard for safety and just kind of like speed running it at 100 feet and being at all 3 runways in 5 minutes. Obviously, we're not going to do that in real life. You never want to advocate for that. So then I did a version where you do it according to the FAR aim. You climb up, you go across pattern at 500 feet, entry, all of that, and still did it under 10 minutes. So now
Oh,
we're going to go do it in
wow.
real life and see if we can replicate that. And not
Very cool.
And kind of pausing the clock at each time so you're not, hurrying to turn around and be unsafe. But basically like a safe version of a race of sorts.
Okay, speaking of the race and the video that you guys raced, was it genuine that Lanie beat you to the destination, or did
Yes.
you guys have to?
No, I absolutely beat him. And it was very awkward because I didn't know where he was. And so I've got a tripod set up on this bar that we were supposed to meet at. And people are walking by looking at me, like, what are you doing? The bartender comes up and she's like, are you good? I was like, I'm good. This is weird. I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, I beat him. I was there for
You say this
10
an
minutes
Instagram,
first?
YouTube
Probably
thing.
10 or 15
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where
It was that
wind-
close?
Oh yeah, wind made all the difference. I mean, if I had probably a 3-knot push, it would have been the same time. Because
Wow.
I heard her flight on the radio, and I heard them asking to slow down because of bumps, which is just funny that you're in a race and they're like, we need to slow down. I could hear their flight number. It was very close. Yeah, and we
That
did all
is
the
so
math
cool.
first. We're like, okay, we need to leave the house at the exact same time. So, and where could she reasonably fly where the distance would work? I'm going to a different airport. She's going to Hartsfield International. And we just kind of did all the math.
It
and we're
sounds
this should
like
be very close.
you aren't being competitive because you were trying to just get there at the same time. Are you competitive?
There was a consequence to losing, which is the final scene of the video.
Right, I
And
know.
It was pretty embarrassing.
I guess
I would
we're
say we're
just
pretty
gonna have to go
competitive.
watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We're
haven't
pretty
seen it.
We'll have a link to it in here. Yeah.
There you go.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm absolutely competitive.
Yeah.
Don't.
So you're the more competitive of the two?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the more athletic one. We went and did PPG. We did powered paragliders.
Right.
And I was horrible at it. I crashed on my face. There's a video of that as well. And she killed it. And same with
Oh.
surfing. She's
Yeah.
very competitive and more athletic. We've learned that.
Well, that goes to back up. She's probably going to be a 40-hour private.
Oh, 100%.
Well, I
see.
can't wait to see you solo. I'm excited for that. I know that you do the radios and you're around aviation all the time, so hurry up on that CFI.
When,
I know, I have
when
the
do you think
textbooks.
you'll do the CFI initial?
I have the textbooks. It's just I take on a lot of projects, and then that seems to be the one that makes its way to the bottom.
You have a commercial,
But
right?
I got my commercial.
Okay, so you got everything ready.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the toughest check ride ever. My
Yeah.
oral was 5.5 hours. Not to try to
See
scare
that?
you.
Well, that's actually where I've generally kind of performed better. Like orals
Okay.
and the information part, I do well, and I think instructing, I think I'll do well too.
For
It's
me
just
and the
maneuvers and getting
DPA,
it
I
done.
used, the flying was easy.
Yeah.
It's doing the same commercial maneuvers from the right seat.
Right.
But
I'm
yeah.
in the same exact boat.
Oh,
have
that's
the
right. You were
textbooks.
close, and you got. Yeah, that's right.
So I'm also going for the CFI and the 150 very soon, which I have said for a year now. But
Which, by the way, the 150 is the perfect check ride airplane. And you
if
know
your
why?
DPE isn't too big,
I was
my
gonna
say,
DPE
you
can find
said
a
he
DPE.
wouldn't
As long
fly
as
with
as long
me.
as the DP and you, well, I would mention, yeah, anybody will fit. You're so tiny.
No, my DPE, I wanted to fly with him. He's also an AMPIA, like from my local airport. I really admire him. I wanted him to do my check ride, and he was like,
Nope.
yeah, get a 172 and we'll
Well, talk.
absolutely knock it
well,
out.
if you can but the 150 is perfect because you can't have an FAA examiner coming in to
In the
examine
back.
the DPE.
So that's true, but I got my private in a 152. This is like 11 years ago, with an FAA examiner.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And he showed up thinking it was in a 172, and he saw it, and he was just it set the whole tone. He's just like, okay. And he was like not a tiny guy, so he was
Right.
wedged in there, and we're doing all of our. did
In the
track
back of
ride.
the 150?
No, next to me. It was just the two of us.
Oh, that was your examiner.
That was my examiner.
Oh, okay. You went the free route.
Yeah.
I haven't met very many people that. Would you recommend that, by the way?
Are they
Not really.
still really doing that?
I think they do, but I would just. Was it easy to schedule? You know, all that. Walk me through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an in-network thing, actually. I worked for an aviation company at the time, and so they
Okay.
were aware of him. So scheduling was not a problem. And my instructor wanted to be in the room for the oral just to kind of see how the FAA does it. It was a challenging oral. It was really long. It was very in-depth, but he was still fair. I mean, I could still say, I'm not positive. Let me look it up. And, it's an oral. So I thought it was fair. It's the nerve part of it is probably what makes it a little harder. Is feels like you're taking a driver's license test with a cop, basically.
Right.
It is good. Yeah.
Very cool. Well,
All right.
thank you all so much for joining us today. I will keep following along on all of your adventures. Check them out on YouTube and Instagram. Fly Me to the Fun. Drew and Lanie, thanks for being with us.
Thanks
for having us.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe not only to the Taking Off channel, subscribe to Aviation 101, subscribe to Fly Me to the Fun. So, and also thank you to our sponsors like 67 Design, 67D.com, Marshall Protective Services, MPSProtects.com, Colton Mortgage, Colton Taking Off, and Z-Vision, XEVision.com. So we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time in the hangar.
In the hangar.